Hi guys, how is everyone today? Hope everyone's having a good weekend. And so this is the Super Saturday show, guys. And yeah, so we're going to talk about all the football today, not just Liverpool stuff. Anything you guys want to talk about, we'll talk about. Got quite a bit to go through today. Hi Luke, hope you're well, mate. Hope you're doing good. So we've got quite a few things to go on about today, guys. And hi John. People coming in now. So we're going to talk about the Villa United game, the City-Chelsea game from today. They're the two big matches. We'll talk about the Arsenal and Tottenham game that got postponed. And obviously then we'll talk about Liverpool-Brentford game, which is tomorrow. So let's talk about the first game of the afternoon today, guys. City and Chelsea. It was a 12:30 kickoff this afternoon, and it was the early game. Big match. But it failed to deliver on so many places. It was a bit boring for such a big game. I thought it was a bit boring. Nothing really happened. Evening, Steve. Hope you're doing well, my man. Even Chris. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, the City-Chelsea game. Not a lot went on in this game. I thought it was a boring game. To be fair, there weren't much watching it. Chelsea, I don't think they had a shot the whole game. City, City do what City do. They keep the ball better than anybody, and they frustrate the hell out of you. And they just keep attacking your box continuously. Attacking your box didn't sound quite right there, did it? But you know what I mean. No, City just go about their game. Look, I don't think City play the most beautiful football I've ever seen. I don't think. Sometimes I find Manchester City a little boring to watch, and it's not because they're just so good. It's just I just find their style of football a bit. It's not for me, their style of football, but it breaks teams down. It breaks their will. They just know how to win football games, and I did enjoy the game. As soon as I saw the Chelsea lineup, I knew they were going to go negative. I knew they were going to go negative, super negative, and City had all the ball, the whole match. It was just, I'm surprised how negative Chelsea went, how negative Thomas Tuchel went. To be honest, it was just a boring game. I expected a lot from Chelsea, considering they needed to win this game. If they had any chance, they needed to beat City. And I was hoping Chelsea would beat City, because if Chelsea beat City, and then we beat Brentford, and then beat Leeds in that game at hand, we'd only be 5 points behind Man City. Yeah, that's achievable. That's all to play for, but no. City have done a double over Chelsea with 2 1-0 wins, and there were a bit more than 1-0 wins as well. City beat Chelsea up. Let's be fair. City beat Chelsea up. City don't have to beat you 3-4, 5-0. City can beat you 1-0, but absolutely beat you up, and that's what City did to Chelsea today. Evening, Doug. Hope you're well, fella. Hope you're good. All good, John. Quiet night tonight for me, as I've got a football tomorrow. Steve's having an early one with a footy. Steve, do you play 5-a-side? Or is it a full team? Werner should have played. Yes, he could score at Blackmore Amusements or hit a Carlsbad side, but got the pace to stretch defensive. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Chris. Yes, I'm good. I just hit 1.6k. Brilliant, Doug. Congratulations, fella. I know how hard you work. You do such a great job. That's a phenomenal effort, fella. Phenomenal effort. Well done, mate. 11-a-side. Hey, Steve playing up 11-a-side. Man's football. Where do you play? What position do you play, Steve? Because I'm going midfielder. You look like a robust midfielder. But this City team, as I say, They beat teams up. They beat teams up. They don't need to like smash teams 4-5-6-0. They beat Chelsea up today 1-0. They beat Chelsea up earlier in the season 1-0 as well at Stamford Bridge. They humiliate sides. They're just a level above everyone at the moment, and yeah, it pees us off. It pees us all off because it annoys us so much. You know, they've got an exceptional manager, exceptional wealth. You know, and they got all the luxuries of life, and yeah, unfortunately, they look like they're walking this league, and it can be a bit of an embarrassment. Yeah, I knew it. Tough tackling midfielder. I knew you was a robust midfielder. There you go. Sammy, how you, mate? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, City are too good, fella. City are too good. They're in a phenomenon. I can't even say that word. I'm not going to say it. I can't say it. I can't put my teeth in. They're a great side. They're a fantastic football team. I hate to admit it, they are a great football team, but no one seems to give City a game like Liverpool do. I know we had the game earlier in the season. It was a 2-2 game. For me, it's the game of the season. I know Liverpool-Chelsea game the other week was a fantastic football game, but Liverpool-Man City, that is, for me now, the Liverpool-Man City for me now is the biggest game in world football. Real Madrid and Barcelona, I don't think it's the game. It's always going to be a massive game because of the two teams, but I think right now Liverpool-Manchester City is the biggest football game in Europe at this moment in time. Oh, QNTV, hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're doing well. Smash the likes, as he says. How you fella? Hope you're good, my man. Stubbs trying to be like Roy Keane. Can you imagine? Cheers, John, mate. I love it, and it's great for your mental health. It is. Great darts final, Chris. Yeah, I was surprised at Chelsea. I've got to say. Obviously, I know there's a lot of people talking about Lukaku at the moment. I've seen QNTV's channel earlier on today was doing a watch along, and you know, I feel for him. I mean, Lukaku, I've always said £100 million. As soon as they bought him in the summer, I said £100 million is too much. It's too much for him. He's a decent footballer. He's never been world class, ever been world class, and he'll never be a world class footballer. You can't be a world class footballer when your first touch is a pass. It's as simple as that. When your first touch is a pass, you can never be a world class footballer. I think Italian football suited Lukaku. There's less pressure on the ball in Italy. You have more space. Everything sort of happens in the final third of the pitch, but you can have more movement in Italy, and it's a slower tempo. And I think that slower tempo suits Lukaku. He just looks heavy and slow in the Premier League. He just looks heavy and slow, and I just don't think his age now it suits him. I think he should have stayed in Italy. I mean, he wants to stay in Italy. He wants to go back to Inter Milan, doesn't he? So, you know, I can see that. I can't see Lukaku staying at Chelsea much longer. Saying that, who do you think guys will go first? Who do you think will go first? Thomas Tuchel or Lukaku? Who will leave Chelsea first? Thomas Tuchel or Lukaku? I'll leave that in the comments while I just leave you guys with that while I just read your comments. Steve, flat track bully, as Chris always says. Look, he's not even a flat track bully at the moment, is he? I mean, he's nothing. You know, he's nothing. He's just shit. Is it that Steve don't know if my knees hold up these days playing centre back? No, I know what you mean, John. I can't. Running around the kids for 5 minutes is enough, ain't it? I'll give Lukaku a pass. Just look at how bad the decisions he actually. Yeah, I mean, the supporting cast around Lukaku isn't great, but But I've always said, and I'll always say this, I say the same thing about Harry Kane. World-class footballers, no matter what, can win the game on their own. They don't need supporting help. And for me, that's why Lukaku ain't world-class. Indeed stuffs. Shall we find John, give it another go? Lukaku played for Everton for a reason. Talking about Everton, they've just sacked Rafa Benitez, ain't they? So that's all finished. That's Rafa done. Rafa did as much as he could. Old agent Rafa, and now he's got the boot, so he's gone. He'll get a nice payout. That's what Rafa looks like he does recently, isn't it? All the clubs Rafa goes to, he gets sacked from, gets lovely payouts. That man is minted. But yeah, I don't know if everyone's heard the news. Yeah, Rafa Benitez has been sacked from Everton. We'll see, mate. Maybe one day I'll put the old boots back on. Do you play on AstroTurf, Steve, or do you play on actual pitches? Lukaku is still Everton's top goal scorer in the Premier League with 68 goals. That's when Lukaku had a point to prove. When Lukaku was at Everton, he had a point to prove. You know, he was let go by Chelsea. He went to West Brom. He was too good for West Brom. And he went to Chelsea, and I think at Chelsea he had a point to prove. He was still young. He was fitter and leaner back then. You know, he wasn't so heavy. He was fitter and leaner, quicker. Point to prove, he was hungry. But now, I think when he got his Man United move and all that, it weren't the same player. It weren't the same player for me. Lucas Dean was good today. Referee so finished. Rafa's been sacked, Sammy. Apparently that's the news coming out. All the journalists up in Liverpool and that have just reported that he's been sacked. But yeah, Lucas Dean, you know, he did all right for Villa on his debut today. Personally, I've always had a problem with Lucas Dean's work rate, and apparently so did Rafa. That's why he let him go. What did Everton do? Nothing. Rafa always welcome at Anfield, lovely man. He is a great fella. Exactly, Chris. Yeah, I like Rafa as a person. You know, we always will. He won the Champions League with us. He started to build a fantastic team, and then it just, you know, went a bit sour for Rafa, didn't it? And it went a bit sour for the man, and his time come. And I think Rafa's lost that spark. To be perfectly honest, I think Rafa's lost that spark, and I don't see him ever getting it back. I don't think he'll ever get that spark back. As I say, City versus Chelsea was going back to that game. City were just, as I say, they beat Chelsea up. I know it was only 1-0, but they beat them up. You know, Sterling. I've got to say one thing about Sterling. Raheem Sterling dived twice today in the penalty box. No one says anything. This is what gets on my nerves because he's English. Because he's British, no one says anything. When Mo Salah goes down, all you hear is all the media, all the pundits, he's dived again, he's cheated again, he's diving again. Simon Jordan on TalkSport, yeah, Salah, I can't just take his diving, though, he falls all over the place. Sterling dived twice today, especially that second one in the penalty box, never got touched, went to the ground like he'd just been shot, and no one says anything. It's like, oh, well, play on. No. It's just British biasness again. A British player, an English player, diving all over the shop, trying to win penalties, and no one says anything. But when Mo Salah does it, or Mane does it, or any other foreign player does it, they're all evil and bad. When British players do it, it's all, oh, that's good, you know, let's not talk about it. It's just pretend that never happened. Carry on with commentary of the game. That's my head in. He dived twice today, falling all over the shop. As soon as he runs into that penalty box, he falls over. Every time. It does my head in. Nothing worse than playing on gravel. Oh, no. But when you're a kid, you always used to play in the road. Did you not do that? When I was a kid, so this was back in the early 90s, when I was a kid in the early 90s, you just played football out in the road because there was hardly any cars about back then. Not like there is today. You just put your jumpers down on the road and stuff like that, or use your bloody front garden. I don't think people do that anymore. The amount of diving on the road, it killed you. Saint Kane is the best. Yeah, Kane dives all the time. Absolutely all the time. Nothing gets said about it. In Rafa, we trust totally. You got morons like Lineker who say it's clever play of English players, but yeah, all the time. I just can't believe how many times Sterling dived today. I mean, especially that second one. I mean, the first one, he might have got a little tug, but it was hardly anything. No one even asked for a penalty, and he just threw himself to the floor. And then the second one, when he went in between two players and no one touched him, and he just went. He's like, is anyone going to say anything about this? I thought you meant to get yellow cards for simulation. I ain't letting Grealish escape. He's a fraud, but City winning covers it up. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point, Sammy, to be fair. Jack Grealish was bought for £100 million and he's done nothing. He's not improved Manchester City, has he? You could take Jack Grealish out of this team, put him back in the Villa side. Man City would still be 12 points clear at the top of the league. There wouldn't be there's no difference. It's just, that's what annoys me about Manchester City. They can afford to buy £100 million player and he doesn't have to perform for them to still be good. How irritating is that? Chelsea bought £100 million player. He's not performing. Obviously, he's getting all the flack and the insults, and Chelsea fans are annoyed because Chelsea are not doing well. It's just I don't know how anyone can compete with Manchester City. They buy £100 million player, and it doesn't matter that he's crap at the moment and not performing or doing anything for £100 million. How are you meant to compete with that? Tell me, guys, in the comments. How are you meant to compete with that? You can't. If Liverpool went and bought £100 million player and he didn't perform, the team wouldn't be performing. And we'd be struggling. We couldn't just replace him. Let's be fair. Man City, if they want to in the summer, can just replace Jack Grealish. It's not a problem. So how is anyone meant to compete with Manchester City? It's impossible. It's amazing that we have done it. To be fair, it is amazing that we've done it. That's how good I suppose Jurgen Klopp is as a coach. And we have got some good players ourselves that can help with that. But it's funny that the only team that can seem to compete with Manchester City is Liverpool. And when Liverpool can't compete with Manchester City, like they can't this season, Manchester City run away with it. But the 2 or 3 times Liverpool have competed with them, it's been close. Times that Liverpool don't compete with them, no one else does. Liverpool couldn't compete with them last season because of injuries. No one else could. Liverpool can't compete with them this year because Man City, they're just too good, and Liverpool fell back a little bit behind with the squad and everything. And, they're just pulling up tree at like £100 million player that's not performing, and it doesn't matter to them. But as you say, Sammy, he's getting away with it because he's playing for a winning Man City side. And Lukaku, who was £100 million, not getting away with it. He's not playing for a winning side. Yeah, but probably one he's just diving on the gravel. Seven Bilic put his name in the hat for having that family. Oh. Why don't Everton just give it a good dunk? Well, nothing else has worked. Let's give it a dunk for Ferguson. Let's give the top to dunk for Ferguson for the end of the season. What is the point? Seven Bilic, yeah, played for Everton. He's no good at shit. He's not a very good manager. That's why it doesn't work. Carlo Ancelotti. You had Carlo Ancelotti for one season and it didn't work. You might as well just give the job to Duncan Ferguson. Everton are a shambles, an absolute shambles. Gundogan don't even start these days, and they're so strong. I know Gundogan would walk into Liverpool's midfield right now. You know what I mean? And he don't even start Man City. You cannot compete against Manchester City financially. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, my man. Hey, Jay, Man City's not the reason we're 11 points behind LFC. The reason we are behind, I want everyone in the chat to go back and see the way we drew and lost some of those games. Yeah, true. Your mic, Jamie. What's the matter with my mic, Jamrock? Can you hear me? Sorry, it's just these bloody Bluetooth things. I've got to get a proper one. Hopefully you can hear me, Jamrock. Yeah. I understand what you're saying there, Jamrock. There is some games where, we messed up. You look at a Brighton game, you're 2-0 up against Brighton. At home, you almost lose that 3-2. That was a problem. I'll give you that. You might the West Ham game, the Leicester game recently. You are right. There is games there where we've just not been ourselves, and I think that's been you're correct. We've not been ourselves and not our lethal self, and that's cost us. You're all right there, Joe. Right? Oh, you can hear me now. Cool. That City game. Please tell me how Fabinho allows Jesus to get past it like it was hologram. Yeah, I mean, I've said this about Fabinho quite a lot this season. When Fabinho is at it and on form and in fit and ready to go, there's no one better. But if Fabinho is not at it, and he's not quite 100% fit and not in form, he can be too slow and not reactions are not quick enough, and he's not reactionary, and he lets people go past him quite easy. But when he is at full go, Fabinho, he's absolutely fine. Obviously, he's brilliant. He's one of the reasons why we have been successful for the last few years. But I do understand what you're saying. I've been saying it this season. Fabinho at times is looking too slow. I know he's not quick as an athlete in a way, and he's never really relied on that. Don't rely on it. But he's slow into the tackle sometimes, or slow to react. And I don't know why that is sometimes. It might be the players around him. He's not got the supporting cast, because when it's him and Thiago together, they're a different partnership, ain't they? I think there's a stat going around that Thiago and Fabinho have played 10 games with each other, and we've won all 10 games. So I think he needs not having legs around him like Henderson and Milner's not going to help either. West Ham, our entire midfield just allowed Bowen to run by them without none of them taking the yellow card. Oh, no. That's one thing I will say we don't do enough of. We don't do the dirty fouls. You see Manchester City, their midfielders do the dirty fouls all the time. So if there's a break going on or something like that, Rodri will always clatter someone, Bernardo Silva will always clatter someone, Kevin De Bruyne will always clatter someone. We don't do that. We're a bit soft like that. I never really see us do that tactical foul to break the game up and stop attacks and stuff like that. It's like we're too nice at times. Football Vlogs, how are you? So pissed off. Why did your expert Coutinho have to shine against us? Coutinho had the greatest 20 minutes I've seen in a debut in a long, long time. But I think some Liverpool fans are going way over the top with him at the moment. I see it on Twitter. Oh, we should have got Coutinho back. Look, he just had 20 minutes of a debut. He's got a point to prove. He loves playing in the Premier League. He's playing for his idol, as he says, in Stevie. He loves Stevie. He's going to give his all. But let's wait till Coutinho plays some 90-minute games and then judge him. I think we all need to calm down a little bit, but he had a great 20-minute introduction. And, he played really well. Christopher, would anyone take Ramsey from Villa? Good little player. I think with Liverpool at the moment, I don't think we're in the market for that sort of player. I think we want a player that will break into the first 11 now. I don't think Ramsey will break into the first 11. I think we need a player that will just go straight into that first 11 and stay in that first 11. He's a good player, though. Jamrock, Brighton, we got caught out of the high line and took 3 passes to get. Yeah, I know. I know the high line only works when we've got the right midfield. When we've got the right midfield, the high line works. Like when we've got Thiago and Fabinho in that midfield with either a Henderson or a Keita, the high line works better. But when we don't, I can't stand it when we play the high line and we're playing Milner, Henderson, and Fabinho. All three players are exactly the same and they've got no pace. So they can't defend, break up an attack, and get forward at the same time. Or if they get forward, they haven't got the legs to get back and defend the lines and get in between. And that's a massive problem. But when it's Thiago and Fabinho, they can both sit and then one can move forward, one goes back, and they've got a nice understanding with each other. But I do understand your point. Imran, hope you're good. Hope you're good, fella. Even Mourinho had a great debut with Southampton. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Minamino did have a good debut with Southampton. He scored that rocket, didn't he? I like. I'm going to get to Taki a bit later because I've got something to talk about with Taki. I think he gets a lot of flack. Alisson whiffing on a clearance that didn't need to slide and kick because someone's easing out a potential challenge. Yeah, Alisson ain't covered himself in glory all season either, but I find it hard to have a go at Alisson because his one-on-ones. Is there a better keeper one-on-one with an attacker than Alisson? I mean, his one-on-one saves are fantastic and his positioning in goal. He has the odd moment here and there, Alisson, but I think I'll take them odd moments sometimes because he's such a good goalkeeper. How about us as fans ask Klopp why after 5 years he still can't come up with a tactic to break down a low block? How is that possible? Yeah, look, I've got for that one, Jamrock. I will say I spoke about this in my last video. Yesterday's video. I spoke about this. I do think Klopp, as much as we all love him, we all love Jurgen Klopp here. There's not one person who wants Jurgen Klopp to leave our football club. Not one. We all love him, but he isn't immune from discussion. We should be able to talk about and discuss him and pick out bad points and negatives. It can't always be the positives. You can't always give someone positive, and keep making, yes, you're great, yes, you're this, yes, you're that, because they're not. That's impossible. No one's like that. So we do have to talk about sometimes that Klopp's negatives, here's his stubbornness. Klopp is one of the most stubborn managers I've ever seen. And he was for Bayern Munich, he was for Borussia Dortmund as well, and for Mainz. He was an extremely stubborn man. And but it brought him success. So it's hard to say, stop being so stubborn, but it's brought him success wherever he's been. Personally, what I think with Jurgen Klopp, I like Pep Linders. I think Pep Linders is a great assistant. He's obviously a very good coach. Look, since Pep Linders came in for Buvac, we won the league, the cup, the Champions League, the Club World Cup, and Super Cup, and all our trophies have come under Pep Linders' term. The great result against Barcelona, and all these things have happened with Pep Linders. He's obviously a fantastic coach, but is Pep Linders too much of a yes man? Because what you need from your assistant, your manager will always have one focus, one thing in mind, one way, whatever he wants to play. And I think Pep, you need an assistant to go, mate, pull you up sometimes, go, maybe that's not the way we should do it. Maybe we should be looking at this style, this way of playing, this tactic, this formation. Let's try this out in training, see if the boys like it, see if they can get used to it. I think Pep Linders may be too much for a yes man. I think Pep Linders might be too much of a yes man, just agrees with everything Jurgen says sometimes and doesn't argue his points and try and get his points across. I don't want to bash Jurgen Klopp because, what he has done for us. I'm not going to bash him at all. But he's not immune from discussion. We should be able to point out negatives as well as positives. But we all love him. No one wants him to go. Imran, Klopp's system reminds me of a circuit. You take one bit out and the circuit is incomplete. Klopp needs to do better with changing formations and tactics to suit the players he has. I agree with that. I said this in my last video. The Liverpool-Arsenal game annoyed me because you've lost Mane and Salah. Now, to replace Mane and Salah is very difficult because To get that sort of player to come in to do them jobs, it's hard to find players like that. And obviously, the players we have are quite a downgrade to Mane and Salah. Let's all be fair about this. So when you haven't got Mane and Salah, and you still play 4-3-3, and you expect Minamino on the left and Jota on the right and Bobby in the middle to do the same job as Mane and Salah on the right and left and Bobby or Jota in the middle, is crazy to me, because you're not going to get the same results, because they can't play that way. So that's when I'm like, maybe change it up a little bit. Maybe not play three up top. Maybe play 4-2-3-1. Because for me, I'm going to say this now, Minamino gets a lot of slack. Gets a lot of abuse, right? Especially of Liverpool fans on Twitter. All right. Taki Minamino for me is a midfielder. He's not an attacker. And when he plays on the left wing of a front three, basically an inside forward, that's not his game. He doesn't like playing on the half turn. He doesn't like playing on the half turn and playing in that final third. Taki Minamino likes getting the ball deep and running with the ball and attacking defenders. That's his game. And he likes to pass around. Personally, I'll play 4-2-3-1 and play Taki as a 10. Play him behind the striker. Play him in the hole. At Borussia Dortmund, Jurgen Klopp played 4-2-3-1. Always play 4-2-3-1. Kagawa played behind the striker in that number 10 role, and he was excellent at it. And I think we should give Taki a go there. We should give Taki a go at the number 10. He's not a forward. And the problem is you keep playing him up front, either on the right inside forward, left inside forward, on the number 9. It's not his game. It's not his game. And he's going to look terrible. At Red Bull, he played the number 10 position behind Haaland. That's the position he played. And I don't understand why we don't, give him a go there. Look, we've got no Mane and Salah at this moment in time. Switch it up a little bit. Play 4-2-3-1. Play Jota up top. Play Taki as the number 10. Play two midfielders. And play Ox and Jota either side of Minamino, and Bobby up top on his own, maybe, or something like that. Just change it up a bit. Try something new. But we know against Brentford, I'm going to talk about later, we're going to see 4-3-3 again. And it'll probably be Gordon instead of Minamino on the left, Jota on the right, and Bobby up top. It does irritate me a little bit. Henderson was really annoying, responsible for Chelsea equaliser, in the 2-2. Instead of tracking Pulisic running, just pointing. That's Henderson's new thing. Right, you go over there. No, Hendo, you do it. You're next to him. I do agree. Demo, my man in the house. Hey, you, Demo. You tell him Jamie Taki is a boss. Yes. Taki number 10. Yes, Demo. Oh, you're well, Demo. I personally think before we worry about City and how to compete, we make sure our players are locked when they are in the title race, and our coach doesn't wait so long to make changes when needed. I mean, in the Arsenal game, when we knew Arsenal were down to 10 men, we should have brought a Curtis Jones or an Oxlade-Chamberlain on at half-time to attack that Arsenal team, because Milner, Henderson and Fabinho, you don't need to play three of them when Arsenal got 10 men and not go attack you for the whole second half and try and get a 0-0. Yeah, I agree with that. Taki is a second striker. That shadow striker just behind, so he plays in that hole, he plays in that gap, he picks up positions. Playing him on the inside forward positions on the right and left, trying to ask him to be a Mane or a Salah, it's just not his game. It's not his game. It's like putting Salah as a centre midfielder. He wouldn't know what to do. He'd look lost. Why not play Gordon as part of the front three? Look, I think Gordon will play. Apparently, Gordon got told not to play for the under-23s against Everton today. He was meant to play that game, but he got pulled out. So he's probably going to be in the squad for tomorrow's game. And if Klopp still going to try and play this 4-3-3 and try and just keep the same system, same tactics and the same setup as he does when Mane and Salah play, then I think Gordon's going to play on the right. I think Jota will be better on the left. That's one thing I didn't get against Arsenal. Why did Jota play on the right? Jota is better off the left. Off the left on number 9. That's where Jota plays. He never plays on the right. And Minamino would be better on the right than he is on the left. That was a bit strange. I know he likes these inverted wingers, Klopp, so he likes to come in on inside, so they come in on their stronger foot. But no, I think tomorrow you'll see Jota on the left, Bobby through in the middle, and I think Gordon will play, and I think they'll play on the right-hand side. And then let's hope Milner and Henderson do not play. One of them cannot play. Might as well get to that now, actually. That's why we're talking about. Let's just get to that, guys. Let's get to it. Let's talk about it now, then. So, Liverpool versus Brentford tomorrow, guys. 2 o'clock kickoff, Sunday afternoon. So, we've just seen Chelsea lose to Man City. We have to win. It's as simple as that. We have to win tomorrow. There's no ifs or buts. We just have to win. Look, he's going to play. Look, let's forget about playing 3 at the back or 3-4-3, 3-5-2, or 4-2-3-1 or anything like that. He's going to play 4-3-3. Let's go through the team. You guys put your 11 in the comments, guys. Everyone in the comments, put your 11 that will play against Brentford. I'm going to go mine. They'll play Ali in goal. Trent as right back. Matip, Van Dijk. And I'm going to go Tsimikas at left back. He'll probably play Robbo, but I think Tsimikas deserves to stay in the team. I don't think Robbo's done enough lately to keep taking Tsimikas' place. I'd like to see Tsimikas have a go. And then my midfield 3 will be Fabinho. Fabinho's the only lock-in midfielder we have. We don't have a single midfielder unless Thiago's fit. Unless Thiago's fit, and Thiago and Fabinho play all the time. But at this moment in time, Fabinho's the only midfielder that's guaranteed to play every game. So Fabinho starts, obviously. He's got to go Henderson because Henderson's the captain. And he's got to go Curtis Jones. I think Curtis Jones will play that number 8 role coming off the left-hand side. I think that's where he'll play. And then I think he'll play Jota on the left, Bobby through the middle, and Cade Gordon on the right. I think that's where. I think that's the 11 he's going to go with. And then what we know for the, I don't know what the bench. The Origi injury is a bit weird. Origi is always injured on transfer windows. I don't know if anyone ever notices this. When there's a transfer window, Origi's injured. We all know Origi, I think he's got 6 months left in his contract. A lot of people say he's got a year left in his contract, but he's got a 6-month extension if they wish to take it. I don't know. I have no idea about the Origi contract, but as far as I know, he's got 6 months left. Inter Milan are sniffing around him. They want to take him on a free in the summer, or maybe take him this January. If Origi was fit, Origi would start for me. Origi's a goal scorer. Origi can hold the ball up. Origi holds the ball up better than Lukaku does. Let's get that right. He's got a better touch than Lukaku. Origi would hold the ball up. He'd play my number 9 role. And then, I'd have Jota and Gordon alongside him for pace. But unfortunately, he's injured. Thiago's injured. Harvey Elliott's injured. But them 3 players are coming back. They're coming back. So the bench ain't going to be great. So we need to put our best first 11 out. Get this game won. Get this game won early. Brentford are not in the best of form at the moment. They got smashed 4-1 by Southampton. We're at home. I really expect Liverpool to go right on the front foot for this game and have a point to prove. They poor against Arsenal. They've got a point to prove, guys, and I expect them to be on the front foot and go straight for the throat in that first 20 minutes of Brentford. Get this game won in the first half and then can ease off. This game needs to be over. This game needs to be over by half time. If it's 0-0 at half time, it's going to be a very nervy second half, guys. Very nervy. So they need to get this game done. And we have plenty of talent on that pitch to get this game done. Jamrock's team. He's got Alisson, Trent on the right, Konate and Van Dijk and Simi. Hendo, Fabinho as a double pivot, and then he's Ox, and then Firmino in the 10, Curtis Jones and Jota up top. Yeah, so he's playing 4-2-3-1. I like that. Fabinho and Hendo as a double pivot is a nice idea. Because I don't mind Hendo in that number 6 position. I really don't. I think he's I think he's good in that number 6 position. I really do, and I think he's better than that. Playing the number 8, I don't think suits Henderson's game at this moment in time. I'd rather Henderson sort of just sit a little bit deeper and dictate play from there, because he can pass the ball. Henderson, he has got a good pass with him, and he can tidy up play there. I think that's a good idea. I really do. Yeah, I really do. And then Firmino's the 10, and Ox and Curtis Jones either side of Bobby Firmino, and then Jota up top. I like that. Jamrock, I really do. I think that's a good team, and that team should beat Brentford without any problems at all. Yeah, that's a good point there. I'll pick Konate over Matip because of Ivan Toney's strengths. That is a good point. Look, I think Brentford play 3 at the back and 2 up top, don't they? They play 3-5-2 basically, and so what Brentford are going to do? They're just going to leave Toney and I can't remember his strike partner's name. They're going to leave the 2 up top on our 2 centre backs, knowing that we keep our fullbacks up high, and with that 3 at the back, they can try and exploit them areas and play long balls. I expect to see them playing a lot of long passes up towards Toney tomorrow. So Konate may be, Konate's a beast. He's so powerful and strong. It might be a good game for Konate to play, actually. So, because Toney ain't going to want to go on Van Dijk. So, yeah, and Konate's quick as well. Konate's very quick. That's a good idea. You know what? That might actually happen. Konate might actually play tomorrow. John, I'd like to see Fav and Ox and Jones played together with Jarrod, Bobby and Gordon. Yeah, that's the 3 I said about on yesterday's video about the Arsenal game, wasn't it, John? I was saying that where he plays Henderson, Milner and Fabinho, they're 3 exactly the same players, and they haven't got the legs, and it doesn't work. Why not just play Fab, Ox and Jones? Ox has still got pace. Jones has got trickery, skill, can hold the ball, he can keep the ball, he can retain possession, and then Fabinho can do the defensive work. Yeah, that's a good idea. So we have options. This is what annoys me. We do have options. Like John Jamrock, you put out 2 nice options there. So there is options for Klopp to pick from. But I can guarantee you he's going to go Milner, Henderson and Fabinho. Konate's pace will also be needed. Yeah, Konate's a beast. For a man his size, he shouldn't move as quick as he does. It's ridiculous. He moves so fast across the pitch, and I think Van Dijk's probably quicker over a longer distance. But then 5-10 yards, Konate's a beast, ain't he? Yeah, I mean he's the future of Liverpool, ain't he? Konate's the future of Liverpool. He's going to be Van Dijk's partner, I reckon, from next season. Imran, Konate does seem to rush a little bit. Matip is better positionally. Yeah, I think let's do Konate's age. I mean, he's only 22, ain't he? I mean, Matip's 30. He's had far more experience than Konate. I think Konate is learning. I agree with you. He does seem to rush sometimes, but at last, he will learn. He will get better at position, especially when he's playing alongside Van Dijk. Personally, I'd like to see 3 of them play. I'd like us to play 3 at the back. I'd like to see Van Dijk, Konate, and Matip as a 3 at the back. Who's getting past that 3? Really? Seriously, who's getting past them 3? And you have Trent and Robbo, or Trent and Simi as your wing backs. They basically play wing back anyway. So it wouldn't be any different. And I think you can play your high line better that way, because you can always play your high line with 3 at the back, and if you think there's a problem, you can always drop 1 back but keep 2 up. So you can keep the pressure in the opposition's half. So I'm surprised Klopp's never gone with that. I want to see it. I want to see us play 3 at the back. Oxen Jones, more I think of it, are the only players in midfield who actually run at you. Yeah. Oxen Jones ain't worried about running at you. That's one thing we don't do. Cater does it as well. Cater's very good at it. I will say, Naby Keita, when he gets the ball, he's very good at running at opposition defenders. Defenders don't like it. Defenders don't like you running at them with the ball. Defenders rather you run at them without the ball, because it's easier to defend. But when you're running at a defender with the ball, defenders don't like it. They start to back off, which opens space. Naby Keita is very good at it. For me, Naby Keita has been our best midfielder this season. I've said it all season. I can't wait for him to come back. But yeah, Ox and Jones won't be worried about running with the ball. Ox won't be worried about having a long shot. We don't shoot enough from outside the box. And Curtis Jones don't mind being cocky. Everyone said Curtis Jones is too cocky and arrogant. I like that. Let him be cocky and arrogant. You know, it's how he plays his game. I want to see a bit more of that. Thoughts on tomorrow's game? I think Brentford could get something. I hope not, Sammy. I hope not. I am a bit worried about tomorrow's game, just because of the form we're in. We haven't won since I think the 16th of December. It's the last time we won a game. We've had a lot of draws. What is all these bloody bots coming in? That's 2 now. But no, I hope not. I think if Liverpool are winning at half time, the game will be over. Well, Liverpool just got to go straight for it. They can't miss about. They just got to go straight for the jugular and go straight at Brentford. No messing about. No messing about tomorrow. I don't want to see none of this slow passing like we did against Arsenal. This slow build-up play. I want to see some punch in our passing. I want to see some speed in our passing. And I want us to start banging the ball out wide. We played right through the middle against Arsenal, and that didn't work. We can't play through the middle of Brentford. We need to use the width. They're going to play 3 at the back. So if they're going to play 3 at the back, we need to expose their wing backs and the space that's going to be in behind their wing backs. And yeah, I want to see us go straight for it. Get Jota on the left is wasted. I know. I don't understand why he played out on the right against Arsenal. Jota is fantastic coming in off the left-hand side. Number 9 or left-hand side, that's where Jota should play. If Mane's not playing, Jota plays in the Mane position. And Jota is the only one out of all of them who can sort of... So, obviously, Mane and Salah are massive misses, and it's hard to replace them. I think the only player in our squad that can do that is Jota in the Mane position. No, we ain't got really anyone who can do it in the Salah position, but in the Mane position, Jota can replace that and would, I don't think we'd miss Mane so much. But playing him on the right is just a waste. It's not where he wants to be. It's not where he wants to be. Yeah, still no Origi, Sammy. Still no Origi. He's always injured in January transfer windows. Newcastle want him, Inter Milan want him. There's a few bids for Origi going around. This will be his last season with Liverpool, no matter what. But if Origi was fit, I was getting back in the team ASAP. If he was fit right now, he'd play for me. I'd start Origi against Brentford. I really would. I'd start him every week till Salah and Mane come back. Origi would start every week for me. He's going to score more goals than Bobby is. And he's going to be more of a threat in behind than Bobby is. Bobby likes to come towards the ball. That's the only problem when we ain't got Salah and Mane. Jota likes coming towards the ball. Bobby likes coming towards the ball. And so does Taki. He likes coming towards the ball. So we've got no one to go in behind, where Salah and Mane go in behind. So, so we need Jota on the left-hand side to not come towards the ball tomorrow. We need them to try and just get in behind the defence all game. Big difference between City and Liverpool. LFC tried to drown you by holding underwater for 2 minutes. If you can hold your breath, you'll live. City drown you by tying you out. Just relentless. Yeah, exactly. That's a good analogy, actually, Jarrod. Good analogy. It's true as well. As I say, City beat you up. Manchester City, like they beat Chelsea today 1-0. but they beat Chelsea up. Chelsea looked dead after that game. They beat Chelsea up 1-0. It was a 1-0 beating. Yeah, Liverpool, look, we can smash teams, we can beat teams. We just don't play like City. City are just relentless from the first minute to the 90th. All title races, bar Sierra are done. I can't wait for the Champions League. Yeah, I think Inter Milan and AC Milan are really going at it in Italy, aren't they? The two Milan clubs. That's going to be a good title race. But they're both average teams, ain't they? In an average league. Obviously, Spain's done with Madrid. Real are flying there. City are flying here. Bayern Munich are flying in Germany. You know, the thing with Liverpool, I will say this one thing, guys, about the Liverpool team. I know a lot of people are on social media at the moment, on Twitter or on other YouTube channels like Coppish or anything like that, and they're all angry. They're all angry, yeah. Liverpool this, FSG that, no money this, no money that, no players this, no squad that. I can understand your anger, I really can, because I'm with you on it. But things are going to get better. Look, we got this game tomorrow against Brentford. We've got Arsenal on Thursday. Then we've got Crystal Palace the following weekend. Then we haven't got another game till the 10th of February when we play Leicester. Yeah. In that time, in between the Crystal Palace and Leicester game, Thiago will be back. Harvey Elliott will be back. Salah will be back. And Mane will be back. And we're going to look like a totally different team. The legs will be fresh. Players will be back in this team. And we will look a lot better. A lot better. Yes, their misses. Kate will be back. Kate is a big miss. I really think if fit Cater, you know, Kate is fit at the moment. He's playing well actually for his national team. He's been man of the match in every game. Good player, Cater, exceptional footballer. Now, if he's fit in this, we've got a Cater in this midfield at the moment, Cater and Fabinho and a Henderson. No, I'm not too worried. It will get better, guys. We just need to relax and chill a little bit. Yes, City have run away with it. We've made mistakes on our own half by dropping points where we shouldn't have dropped points. But things will get better. We're still in 3 competitions. I think it's a shootout against Arsenal on Thursday. If we beat them at their place, you know, we're going to a final. You know, it's great. A final in February. Chance to win a trophy in February. You know, real boost for the rest of the season. We've got Cardiff in the FA Cup. We should beat Cardiff in the FA Cup. And then in February, the end of February, with the Champions League again. We've got Inter Milan in a game, I think, you know, with all our players back against Inter Milan, we should win over 2 legs. Lot to look forward to. So let's not all get too disheartened, yeah? That's the thing to look at. Let's not get too disheartened. Jarrod, yeah, Jamie, LFC will have a 15-minute stretch where you feel like you're playing against 15 men. If you can withstand that, you stand a good chance to get it. Yeah, exactly. The Arsenal game Thursday, for the first 20 minutes, we're all over them, smashing them. They held out and got a 0-0. That is true. Liverpool, especially at home, for that first 20 minutes, Liverpool are relentless. And if they get the lead in that 20 minutes, it's game over. It is game over. Liverpool play the game in quarters. You know, they play 20-minute games in a 90-minute match. And if Liverpool can win the game in then 20-minute parts in a 90-minute match, they'll win the whole football game. And that's how Liverpool play. They're high energy for 20 minutes. They break. Then they go again for another 20 minutes. They break. They go again for another 20 minutes. They break. Then they go again for another 20 minutes. And if Liverpool win the game in them 20-minute spells, Liverpool win the whole football match. And that's what we got to do tomorrow. We just got to go straight at Brentford at home, first 20 minutes, try and knock it out of the park straight away, get an early lead. Then they have that 20-minute rest. Then they go back again, 20 minutes, straight back on them again. That's how Liverpool play at this moment in time. Sammy, I want to see Bayern or City, Liverpool in the UEFA Champions League. Let them kill each other. I've said it. I've said it at the beginning of the season, and I'll keep saying it. If Liverpool and City don't draw each other in the quarters or semis, it'll be a Liverpool-Man City final. I just got this feeling. I don't know why I've got this feeling. I've said it all season. I just got to have a feeling it's going to be a Manchester City Liverpool Champions League final if they both don't obviously draw each other in the quarters and semis. Because I see Liverpool and City beating almost everyone else in this competition. I don't see Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea have enough up front, enough up top to win the Champions League. I know they're champions, but that's because City basically gave them the title, didn't they? They didn't, they played a weird team. Man City basically gave it to Chelsea. Man City should have won the Champions League last season. Bayern are the only team. Other than that, I really don't see anything else. Rich, are you fella? You good? Shit Saturday for Man United fans. That was a crazy game, Rich, I've got to say. I mean, you're 2-0 up. Bruno Fernandes looking good again. Bruno Fernandes looked good in this game. He had a good game. He did everything he needed to do. Got your 2 goals. And then, I don't know what happened. It's like, in the second half, Man United sort of stopped playing in the second half and Villa got hold of the ball and just playing some nice football in and around your area. It was a strange second half performance by Man United, I have to say. But it was a good game of football, good game to watch. Obviously, Coutinho getting the equaliser must kill you. Coutinho being the next Liverpool player, that must hurt the most. It was a good game of football. But Man United have got there's a lot of issues there, ain't there? I mean, I'm not going to, obviously I'm happy about that. I'm a Liverpool fan. But, there's a lot of issues going on at Man United. And I don't know how you fix Man United right at this moment in time. They tried manager after manager. The Solskjaer thing. You got Rangnick. Ralph Rangnick's got a massive reputation, but he's never managed an elite football club. It's so different managing Stuttgart and Red Bull Leipzig, and it's so what was it? So Mönchengladbach he managed as well. Managing them teams is completely different pressure than managing an elite side like Man United when the world is watching. And he's never done that, and that's going to be difficult. I don't know if it's the right appointment looking at it now. I just don't think the players are hungry enough. I look at Rashford. I don't know what's happened to Rashford. I know Rashford's got his political career going on and all that. And what he's doing is fantastic. He's a great human being, Marcus Rashford. But on the pitch, it looks like it's affecting him. It don't actually look like he likes football at the moment. When I see Marcus Rashford play the other day, I was like, that kid don't look like he likes to play football at this moment in time. He looks like he wants to be anywhere but here. Bruno Fernandes looks like a totally different player when Ronaldo ain't on the pitch. And I've said it all season. I think Ronaldo takes up the space that Bruno Fernandes likes to play in. And when Ronaldo ain't there, Bruno's got that space again that he likes to play in. And I think that benefits him. Cavani and Ronaldo, look, they're going to be gone at the end of this season, I would have thought. I don't know if Ronaldo will be here next season. Cavani, I doubt will be here next season. So there you got to buy 2 strikers. There's a lot to do at Man United. There's a lot of problems. There is a lot of problems. Yes, it did annoy me. We can't defend. We can't control the midfield. It's a bit similar to Liverpool at the moment in time. That's a bit similar to Liverpool at the moment in time, Rich. Like, we can't control a midfield without our number one midfielders being in there. And when we do have Thiago and Fabinho in that midfield, we control the midfield and we look a totally different team. He's a fair. I mean, Lingard is not. Maguire, Varane. Look, Varane's exceptional centre half at Real Madrid. You wonder if Varane's peaked early as a centre back, which is weird to say because centre backs should be only peaking when they're getting into their peak when you're about 30. That's when you become your best centre back. But yeah, something not quite right, is there? There's something not quite right. I just think you need a big, as you say you need a big overhaul. You do. It's going to cost a lot of money, though. That's the only problem. And we all know how you lot feel about the Glazers, and are they going to give you that money to do this big overhaul? But you have got some quality. Look, I'm a Liverpool fan, but I love Mason Greenwood. I think he's a fantastic footballer. I don't understand why Mason Greenwood is just not your number 9. Give him the go. I mean, nothing else is working. Mason Greenwood as your number 9, Sancho on the right, and then if Rashford can get his hunger for football back again and get fit and healthy, Rashford on the left, Sancho on the right, and Mason Greenwood as your number 9. That's a scary front three. That's extremely worrying front three for defenders to face. All pacey, all full of tricks, all full of skill, techie. Greenwood's a fantastic goal scorer. He can go on both feet, left and right. Yeah, it's a lot to look at there. There is a lot to look at there. Make sure you smash the likes. Thank you, Rich. Thank you very much. Everyone listen to Rich. Go and smash the likes, guys. At least the Glazers spend money like FSG. Well, I don't know. It's not actually the Glazers' money they're spending. I think it's the commercial and revenue money, isn't it? It's not actually coming from their pocket. We'd take Greenwood at Liverpool all day long. Yeah, I like Greenwood. I think he's a fantastic player. We need to be smarter in the transfer market. Greenwood will get the chance for CR7 when Cavani leave. Yeah, you reckon that's the problem, ain't it? I mean, I like Cavani. I've always said I wish Liverpool got Cavani. That sort of old school, striker who will sit in the box and smell out chances. And yeah, I like Cavani. Actually, I love Cavani over Ronaldo. That might sound stupid because Ronaldo, who he is, is one of the greatest footballers of all time, one of the greatest goal scorers ever. But at this moment in time, I'd have Cavani because my thing with Ronaldo, I mean, watching his interview, he weren't completely wrong in what he said in his interview, but it's just all about him, ain't it? It's me with Ronaldo. And when you're coming up to 37, I don't think Man United need that in their team right now. I don't think that's what Man United need. I like Cavani. I'd have Cavani over Ronaldo at this moment in time. I really would. And yeah, as you say, it is all about being smart. This is what I talk about a transfer window. It's not about splashing the cash. You can spend 300 million and get 3 players in and they all bomb. Look, Chelsea bought a striker for 100 million. Chelsea fans don't even want him. He's not good enough. It's not how much you spend, it's how wise you spend the money. If I buy a Ferrari, and I get it 50% off, and my mate buys a Ferrari, and it's exactly the same one, but he's paid full price and I've paid 50%, and I've got more money left over to buy something else as well, I've got the better deal. I've spent my money better. And I think that's what the transfer market's about. It's not about spending, I've got 400 million to spend, I'm going to spend 400 million on 4 players and, they don't suit the system. It's all about systems. You've got to buy players that suit the system. I think with Man United in transfer window lately, I think Man United have just bought players and then expect them to fit into a system. And that's not how you should run. That's not how you should run a football club. You should buy players that suit the system the manager wants to play. So if you want to play a certain system, you don't get certain players. Does Ronaldo fit a system Man United want to go forward with, or was it a vanity project? Does Sancho fit a system at Man United? I mean, it's a lot of money. Yeah, I think that's the way. That's how I always look at transfers. I don't always look at. I've got the biggest wad of cash. I'm going to spend 200 million. Look at us. Liverpool spent 200 million this summer, and we wasted 85 million of it. Because they're not good enough and don't fit our system. It's about spending money wisely. So Liverpool got Jota for 40 million, and I think it's like 5 million a year or something like that. It goes to Wolves, the payoff on the instalments on it. And a lot of people at the beginning of the season, like that season, thought Jota was a waste. That's 40 million is a waste. We should have got Werner for 40 million instead. I mean, the Werner was the bloke we were trying to buy, but like they turned their attention to Jota, and he's more value for money for what he does for our club. He suits Liverpool's system and the way he wants to play, and I don't think Werner would have. So it's about spending money wisely, as you say. It's about being smart in the transfer market, not just throwing cash at it and thinking that will help. Rip the band-aid off and trying to clear out Ox, Naby, Milner leaves. Jones on loan and signed Gravenberch and Basuma in this summer, and Bellingham and Hendo's long-term replacement. Yeah, I like that idea. With Naby, I wouldn't be surprised if Naby gets a new contract, just so it keeps his transfer value high. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Naby gets a new contract just for that, to keep his transfer value higher, so he has more sell-on value than selling him now. But everyone else I agree with. Gravenberch and Basuma will be great buys. Newhouse will be a great player to buy in as well. They suit our system, and they wouldn't be a lot of money either. They wouldn't be a lot of money. I mean, Basuma's 40 million. That's all Brighton are asking for. And 40, 50 million for a player of Basuma's quality is cheap for me. I think that's a great bit of business. I also like Jarrod Bowen. I think Jarrod Bowen is a fantastic footballer. And he doesn't get the credit he deserves because he's English. If Jarrod Bowen weren't English, I think he'd be getting so much more credit. He's a fantastic footballer. I don't even know if he's right or left-footed. He's good with both feet. He's quick. He reminds me of a Klopp player. He looks like a Jurgen Klopp player. He'll run all day. He'll work his arse off. He'll press the ball. He'll press off the ball. He's got a good finish. He's got a good shot. He can dribble. He's pacey enough. He's not exceptionally quick, but he's pacey enough. I like Jarrod Bowen, but I think the English tax on him is going to be so high. West Ham are going to want 70 million for Jarrod Bowen. I'm telling you now. And that's it. That's going to put Liverpool off. But if they could get Jarrod Bowen for like 40 million, I'd get Jarrod Bowen in. I think it'd be a good player. I really like Jarrod Bowen. Martial asked not to be in the matchday squad. He's done it United. Really? Wow. He's asked not to be in the matchday squad. Wow. Your manager don't need that. I mean, Rangnick, he doesn't need that, does he? That's just shit, man. If Tuchel started Cavani versus Bayern Champions League final, PSG would have won it. Yeah, I like Cavani. I think he's a good player. Neymar and CR7 born on the same day. Are they? Didn't know that. Do away goals count in the League Cup? If yes, all Liverpool need to do is to score a draw. I don't think they do, actually. I think it only counts after extra time. So not in the 90 minutes, but if it's still a score draw after extra time, I think then it counts. It's weird. Wolves received 4 million up front for Jota, then another 1 million in December 2020, and then 11 million over the summer. See, that's good business, like. I don't see anything wrong with that, Jarrod. You probably don't either. I think we're both similar like that. I think that's good business. I don't see nothing wrong with it. 50 million only in January window. The fee will go down in the summer unless there is a bidding war. Even 50 million is cheap for a player of Basuma's quality. Fantastic footballer. I can't believe Aston Villa are interested in him. I just can't see him wanting to go to Aston Villa. Brighton to Villa. Mate, it is a step up, but I don't think it's a step up he wants in his career. I think he wants top four clubs. He wants Champions League clubs. If Liverpool came in with 50 million tomorrow, he'd be a Liverpool player straight away. No doubt about it. Chris, I won't mind Bowen. Keep Clockwood turning him into a star. Yeah, I love Bowen. I've been banging the Bowen drum for about 18 months now. If you see me on Coppish, Jamrock will tell you, you see me on Coppish, I have been talking about Bowen for about 18 months. And everyone was like, no, Jamie, he's not good enough. He plays for West Ham. I'd rather us go for St. Maximin or Rafinha at Leeds. Oh, fine players, absolutely fine players. But I was like, I think Bowen just fits our system. I think, he's good with both feet. As I say, he's pacey enough. He's got a good goal. He works his butt off. If Bowen's in the team, he's going to give you 100% every match he plays. And he's got quality to go with it. And now all you hear now on social media and other YouTube channels everywhere is like, God, this Jarrod Bowen's a bloody good player, ain't he? And I've been saying it for 18 months and I got laughed at. Paulie, how are you, fella? I hope you're good. Things, Jamie's. I noticed Siqueira was in the Gladbach squad today. He wasn't down as injured or suspended. Is that a sign he's on the move? Probably. You can get him for $6 million, can't you? Which is ridiculous. Look, I think Man United are very interested in him, and it's looking like he might go to Man United. But Man United apparently don't want to pay the $6 million, which is crazy. Liverpool should be all over this. This is an FSG buy. If I've ever seen an FSG buy in my life, it's this one. A $6 million outlay is absolutely nothing, yeah? And his wages are not going to be that high. Probably 180 grand a week, if less than that, probably. $6 million outlay is an FSG outlay. They should be all over this, like they were with Minamino a couple of Januaries ago, where it was a $5 million outlay. $6 to $7 million outlay for this player that will improve our midfield straight away. I am surprised FSG ain't all over it. I really am. Don't know what you guys think about that. Jim Beglan said the empty had. I know. I saw the commentary. He said the empty had and then corrected himself and said Etihad. And then he went on Twitter and apologised, didn't he? He didn't mean to take the piss. Because everyone says it. Everyone says empty had all the time. And I suppose he's heard it so much, he just repeated it. But it was hilarious. The City fans are pissed, I know. It was funny. Bowen over Sancho all day. Right now, maybe not in 6 years, but right now, Bowen. Yeah, I agree. Bowen would fit our system. No one can tell me that Bowen wouldn't fit our system. He's a Klopp-like player, if I've ever seen one. As I said, he'll give 100% every game. He'll press on and off the ball. He can finish. He's got a good pass in him, and he's quick enough. He's about Jota pace, ain't he? He's a Liverpool player all day long. Suits our system. But my only worry is that West Ham puts so much tax on his price because he's English. It'd be like 70 million, where I think he's a 40 million pound player. Bowen is a Klopp player all day long, runs his legs off himself. Yeah, exactly. Plus, he's got the quality to go with it. Bowen's just not one of these players that just runs and puts in the maximum effort every game. He has quality to go with it. He's got an eye for goal. He's got a good pass on him, and he can go both feet. He's got a good dribble on him. Technically a good footballer. Very good footballer. I don't think Klopp wants any additions in the winter. Neither do I. That might upset the apple cart, if I'm being honest. Same. Look, we all have a go at FSG. Look, I'm sort of turning that way now. I think FSG might have let Klopp down this summer. Personally, I think they should have got more players in. But I do think at the same time, Jurgen Klopp has a lot to say. We just don't know because no one talks about it. But I do think Jurgen Klopp has more say than people think he does. I'm not on Twitter, but when I heard it, he was in trouble. Oh yeah, Sammy, it was hilarious, Sammy. It was everyone's outraged. He just said empty ad in commentary, and then he went, "Oh, sorry, Etihad," and just like, oh, it was hilarious. And City fans, they're City fans are not happy at all. Don't know, just ignore it. You're top of the league, winning everything. Shouldn't worry you. Shouldn't worry you. Right, guys. So we pretty much talked about everything I wanted to talk about today. If there's anything else, guys, you want to talk about, let me know in the chat. We could talk about it. Anything you like. It's all good. It's all good. But as I say, let's have a look at the Premier League table, actually. Let's have a look at the Premier League table. So, guys, can you see that? If you're not, I'll go full screen. Can you see that, guys? So that's the Premier League table. So Man City at this moment in time have obviously played 22 games. They've won 18 of them. It's ridiculous. Lost 2, drawn 2, scored 54, conceded only 13 and 56 points. And obviously on, I think, 11 or 12 game winning streak. Chelsea are second, played the same amount against 22 on 43 points. Conceded 17 goals, which is surprising. When we all know when the season started, Chelsea's defence was fantastic and one of the things everyone spoke about. And they've only conceded one less goal than us. We've conceded 18, scored 52, just 2 short of City. We've only lost 2 games, the same as City, but it's the draws, 6. 6 is too many draws. But Chelsea have drawn 7, which I'm shocked about. So obviously, if we win tomorrow, we go back into second with a game in hand, so we can get some clear space of us and Chelsea, which would be good. Which would be good. Yeah. Jamie split those 6 draws into 3 wins and 3 losses, and we have 3 more points. We have 45 2 games in hand. Yeah, exactly. I always say that draws are no good. Draws are no good. You might as well lose a game and then win 2. You know, like you say. The draws just do nothing for you. So you say, hey, we lost 3 of them and won 3 of them. You know, we'd be 3, as you say, 3 points better off. 2 games in hand, that would mean we won them 2 games in hand, we'd be 2 points behind Man City. So, yeah, draws hinder you. Everyone thinks, oh, I've lost a game, we've lost, it's shit, we've lost. But if you draw it, it does nothing. I'd rather lose 1 and then win 4 than draw 2 and win 2. You know what I mean? Draws just don't do anything for you. Don't do anything for you. So let's have a look at the next fixtures we got coming up, guys. Liverpool fixtures. So I'll share this, guys. Can you see this, guys? I don't know how to make it bigger. I will apologise. Hope you can see it. If you can't, I'll read it out to you. So obviously our next fixture, we've got Brentford tomorrow at 2 o'clock at home. Then on Thursday, the 20th of Jan, we're away to Arsenal in the one-legged shootout for place in the final the League Cup. And then we're away to Crystal Palace on the Sunday. So a week tomorrow, we're away to Crystal Palace on the 23rd of January. And that is our last league game till the 10th of February against Leicester. So we've got like a 3-week gap between Palace and Leicester. Yes, we've got Cardiff on the 6th of February. We've got Cardiff on the 6th of February. It's a lunchtime kickoff in the FA Cup. And it's at home, which is a good draw. But we've got a 3-week gap. This is what I've been trying to say. We just get past this little spell of Brentford, Arsenal and Palace. This little 3 games in 7 days. We get past this, out of this all right. We get to a final and we win them 2 games. And then we get everyone back by the time we play Leicester. So it's not the end of the world. We've got some good games coming up. Then 3 days after Leicester, we've got Burnley. Then the Champions League starts with Inter. And then we've got Norwich and West Ham. Our fixtures, guys, are not too bad. This is why I'm not as concerned at the moment in time as a lot of other people are. I think we have international breaks in that. I think so, but there's a club. I mean, there's a 2-week winter break in England at that time, and then and then I think there's the Brazilian boys. I think the Brazilian boys, for Liverpool, they got to go to South America and play World Cup qualifiers in that time. Paulie, if FSG shocked us and spent 200 million, some of you better believe that's it for another 4 years until then players are running to the ground again. Look, it's funny you bring that up. I don't know I think Jamrock might know about this, but apparently, because Liverpool have not spent hardly any money the last 3 years, Liverpool have £220 million to spend this summer, which won't affect FFP. That's the rumour going around at the moment. There's a massive rumour. There's like papers, and you can Google it. Apparently, I've had a look myself, and apparently it's true. Because Liverpool have not spent enough money in the last 3 seasons that contribute to anything because of our outgoings. Our outgoings are more than our incomings. We can spend up to 220 million this summer without any effect on financial fair play. Now, what FSG have always done, they've always been concerned about financial fair play, which is why they sell to buy. If that's what they've all, yeah, it includes wages. That's correct. That's correct, but it includes wages. Yeah, that's right, Jarrod. So Liverpool can spend this summer without actually selling, buy a few players in, including the wages, and not get done by FFP. And that FSG, no matter what we all think, they've always been worried about financial fair play. Always worried about financial fair play. That is one of the rumours why the Fekir deal never happened. Obviously, the Fekir deal never happened mainly because his brothers and agents and family members got too involved and started demanding more money and thought and this and that. And Liverpool like, no, you can fuck off. We don't deal with basically terrorist action. You know, you've signed a deal, that's it, job done. If you don't want the deal, go away. But the other rumour we're going around was that the Fekir deal would have affected Liverpool's financial fair play for the following few summers. Liverpool didn't spend any money for the following few summers, so it can't be true. But that's one of the rumours going around. But I don't know. I hope it's true. I hope Liverpool do spend money in the summer and have a massive transfer window. And yeah, I do hope that's true. One thing I will finish on before I go. I know a lot of people have been talking about Mohamed Salah's contract. Now, I am not as concerned as a lot of people are, especially if you go on Twitter and look at Liverpool fans on Twitter. You know, they go mad. And I understand everyone's concerns. I do think it's in Liverpool's hands at this moment in time, mainly because in the COVID era we live in right now, no one is going to spend 80 to 100 million on Mo Salah. If you look at the top teams in Europe the last year and a half, a lot of the big signings have been free transfers. No, apart from Man City and Chelsea, no one's really spent a lot of money on one individual player. You go to PSG. PSG had the best transfer window anyone's ever seen in one summer, the players they brought in. But they're all free transfers. Real Madrid are going to get Mbappe in on a free transfer. And they're probably then going to break. Then they're going to buy Haaland for 65 million euros in a buyout clause. That's not a lot of money. I don't see anyone this summer spending 80 to 100 million on Mo Salah, and that's what Liverpool want for Mo Salah with 1 year left in his contract. Look, Real Madrid were happy to pay 200 million in the summer for Mbappe with 12 months left in his contract. You know, Liverpool want 80 to 100 million for Mo Salah with 1 year left on his contract. So he ain't going nowhere. So it is in Liverpool's hands. Mo Salah doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to sign for Liverpool. That's why I'm not so concerned. On this. I think it will happen. I think FSG know they have to sign Salah up. Look, FSG probably got away with it from Liverpool fans. Liverpool fans haven't really come for him hard yet. You know, you see what happened with Man United and Arsenal with the old Super League stuff and all the, you know, the massive protests, stopping games being played. You know, we never really did that as Liverpool fans for the Super League. We never really did that. No one really protested. There wasn't a protest. There was nothing. You know, so we're not really like that. But I do think if the Salah deal don't get done, I think FSG will be in for some shit. I think that will then turn I think that's the thing that will turn all of the fans really against them. They'll have nowhere to go then. They'll have to sell up. It'll be too unstable as an ownership if they don't do the deal. That's why I think it'll happen. That's what I'm saying. In the COVID era, I don't see anyone buying Salah for 80 to 100 million, which Liverpool want, and pay his wages at the same time of 400 grand in this COVID era. They would wait till Mo Salah's are free, then give him a sign-on bonus, and then pay his wages. I just don't think anyone's going to pay transfer fees. Big up, Winnerpool. How are you, fella? Hope you're good. I just don't think people will go. I just don't see it. It's in Liverpool's hands. Liverpool got their time. I think they know he's not going to go. Salah's not kicking up a fuss. He doesn't want to leave the club. I think the deal will be done. I think they'll come to some arrangement. That's why I'm not too worried at this moment in time. I think we just need to chill out a little bit. It's not like Salah wants to leave and he's kicking off and we have to sell him or let him go on a free. You know, it's not quite like the Genie situation. I mean, Genie was down to his last few months and they were still negotiating all the way till deadline. So, you know, Genie just didn't want to take the contract. Liverpool offered Genie a contract. They offered him a contract. He just didn't want to sign it. He wanted a bit more money. But with the Salah thing, I think it'll be done. I just don't worry too much, guys. Got plenty of time on it yet. He's not going to go anywhere. Paulie, Jamie, our average spend on main signings every season since Genie came in is 35 million. See, the thing I will say on that, as I said earlier, if you can buy a footballer, an exceptional footballer, on the cheap, go for it. You know, I don't want us to spend £100 million on a player and then he don't work out and he's crap, and then we have to find another 100 million to replace that player because he's not good enough, and we're going to sell him for less than the money we bought him for. I mean, it's all about transfers. Is about smart business savvy. Look at Liverpool's front three in their prime. Bobby, Salah and Mane were bought for 98 million combined, yeah? Arsenal spent 98 million on their back four with Sarakis, was it? Who's the German fella? They spent more on him than we did on Salah. They spent crazy money, wasted it. The players weren't good enough. So it's all about spending money wisely, being intelligent. Jota was a good deal at 40 million. It's all about being sensible and transfer. I'm not one of these people who go, right, we're going to spend 300 million on 3 players. Yeah, bring them all in. 2 of them work out, 1 of them don't. We're going to lose money on that player. That's not great transfer. Chelsea bought Lukaku for 100 million, and I don't care what anyone says. At the beginning of the season, everyone said, who's going to be top goal scorer this season? Lukaku or Ronaldo? That's what everyone kept arguing about. Who's going to be top goal scorer this season? Lukaku or Ronaldo? Because they were the 2 top goal scorers in Italy. Lukaku's crap. His first touch is still a pass. He's average. Ronaldo's Ronaldo, but he's never going to be top goal scorer in the Premier League at his age. Yeah. There's Mo Salah, 30 years old, smashing them in. At 35 million from Roma. You know what I mean? It's being clever in the transfer market is better than just spunking money. Man United spent a lot of money the last 3 years on players that don't fit a system. They bought a lot of players recently. They bought Pogba. We all forget they broke the world record when they bought Paul Pogba, and he still hasn't performed for Man United since they bought him. So it's not about how much you spend; it's how wisely you spend it, shall we say? It's as wisely as you spend it. It's not necessarily worried about FFP. That was what they were promised when they met with UEFA representatives and English FA before they bought Liverpool. Yeah, that's true. I do remember that. Big up James for Winnerpool. He's a good fellow, Winnerpool. FSG have other clubs catch us up, as when we should have been miles clear of City compared to the rest. Yeah, I sort of agree with that. But if you look at the money Chelsea have spent, Chelsea have spent what? 300 odd million, 400 million in the last 3 years, something like that. A lot of money. And we could still finish this season above Chelsea in the league without spending money. So I understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying. I do agree. But as I'm saying, it's not always, Arsenal spent 125 million, and I don't think Arsenal have improved as much as everyone think they have. I think Tottenham, Leicester, and Everton are just nowhere near as good as they were last season or the years before. And it's making Arsenal look better, if you know what I mean. If that makes sense. City didn't have to pay anything for Grealish, Salah, Angelino, Sancho, and so. Yeah, that's the thing. All teams do it. All teams are not buy to sell, because Liverpool are more. Liverpool are, you sell a player, we buy a player. But they make up their money. They do make up their money. Look at all the money. Look at all the money Chelsea made selling all their players and then bought Lukaku. I think they evened themselves out. Liverpool, FSG cash in on Liverpool and we get new owners. They will earn a few billion and we will not depend on recruitment miracles. I don't want 150 million. I just feel our squad holds. Exactly. That's what I want. Exactly, Liverpool. I'm the same as you, fella. I don't want these 150 million pound signings, these unrealistic signings. I want good players that come in the team that fill the gaps that need filling. Liverpool could go and buy a Pasuma for 40 million this January. It'll fill a gap. Zakaria at the moment is only £6 million. Anyone who wants to go Mönchengladbach and give them £6 to £7 million, you're getting Zakaria this January. That is an FSG deal if I've ever seen one. And FSG are not in the deal. Hang on, guys. Sorry. Oh, go to mummy. Go on, quick. Sorry, guys. That's just my daughter. You're all right. Go on. That's all right, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah. That's what I want. Zakaria is an FSG. I've never seen an FSG signing more than Zakaria in my life. $6 or $7 million at Mönchengladbach will get him this month. No, that's an FSG signing. That's a great buy as well. He would make our midfield better. I agree with Liverpool there. I do agree. Paulie, we should have been dominant for 4 to 5 seasons under Klopp, but FSG haven't been. I agree and disagree. But I do understand, and I'm not disagreeing totally with you. Jamie, the reason why fans can talk about how much money clubs should spend is because there's no consequences to fans when the transfer goes pear-shaped. They can just hold their hands up and say, yeah, I do agree. I think us fans do ask for too much sometimes. I do think fans ask for too much sometimes. And also we're like, I'll go back to the Bowen transfer, the Jarrod Bowen transfer. I like Jarrod Bowen. I think he's an exceptional footballer. But I know Liverpool fans won't want Jarrod Bowen because he's Jarrod Bowen, if that makes sense. That's what people think. And I think he's an exceptional footballer and it'll make a big difference to us. They were wrong, my bad. Liverpool have to spend real money and deal with real consequences if the deal goes south. Oh, yeah. When it comes to Salah, they have the Aubameyang and Alexis Sanchez still swelling around the back of their mind. Yeah. So from a business point of view, I will say from a business point of view, if you're a businessman, because at the end of the day, FSG, they're a business. They don't love Liverpool. They don't have to love Liverpool. They're a business. And when they look at Mo Salah, no matter what we think as fans, because we all know it's bollocks, Mo Salah in his 30s is an exceptional footballer still, and he will be when he's 31, 32, 33. He's always going to be a goal scorer. That's just not going to disappear. But from a business point of view, where FSG are concerned, what they're worried about is giving a 30-year-old who's going to be 31, 400 grand a week, and he doesn't perform. And he starts to decrease in his ability because he's into his 30s. And then they're like, we're living in a COVID era where how do we get rid of an asset who's 31 years old, who's on 400 grand a week when he's not performing? Or a 32-year-old who's on 400 grand a week when he's not performing. So from a business point of view, I can understand their point. from a fan point of view, and as all of us are, we see that as bullshit. Just give the man what he deserves because he's the best footballer in the world. So we can, you know what I mean? Victor Navarro says, Robert, 8 million, Trent, fuck all, front three for 100 million, FSG think we'll always have success with fees. Won't always be the case. Yeah, I agree with that as well. I mean, Robbo for 8 million, I still don't know how that happened. I don't even know if it was 8 million because we gave them, what's his name? It's gone out of my head. Was it Stewart? We gave him, is it Kevin Stewart? We gave him. So it's sort of like, Robbo was almost nothing really, almost a free transfer. Obviously, Trent's a generational talent that costs nothing from our youth system. Front three for 100 million is ridiculous. You couldn't build that front three right now for 100 million. It's impossible. So I do understand what you're saying there. Jamie, bad news for Liverpool. No smart business person is going to purchase Liverpool when they're the highest value with no upside from a value standpoint. Yeah, so get it. I mean, I don't think FSG, I don't think will ever sell the club unless a ridiculous offer comes in because they make money off Liverpool. You know, they make their money off the brand. You know, this is what FSG do. FSG, their business standpoint is to buy massive sports teams that are not where they used to be and they've fallen off a little bit. And they, you know, they bring them back up to the top. They did it with Boston Red Sox. You know, Boston Red Sox, Jarrod, you'll know more than me being American, but I think Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees are the two biggest franchises in baseball, if I remember. That's what I heard. I might not be right there, but I believe they're the two biggest franchises in baseball. Arch enemies, ain't they? It's like Liverpool Man United situation. And obviously, I think Red Sox were falling on harder times. Then FSG took them over and brought them up again and won 2 World Series with them, I think, if that's correct. And then, and now they're doing with, is it the Philadelphia Flyers or the Philadelphia Penguins? Now, Philadelphia Penguins, when I was a kid, was a huge ice hockey team that have fallen on their arse. And they go buy them and build them up. And it's the same with Liverpool. Liverpool are a bit like the Boston Red Sox, a massive family club, a huge network, a massive name around the world. And they've fallen on hard times. They came in, they brought their profile up and brought Liverpool back up. The problem with all the clubs that FSG of Pittsburgh Penguins, that's it. The problem with what it looks like from my point of view with FSG is that they built the Sox back up, they beat Liverpool back up, but they can't maintain it. They can't maintain it or take them to the next level. And I think that looks like that's what the problem is. And that's what a lot of Liverpool fans talk about. I was correct. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, I've read something about it, that they're the two biggest baseball teams and arch enemies and everything. Pittsburgh Penguins, that's it. When I was a kid, I remember Pittsburgh Penguins are huge, absolutely massive. Ain't there an arena called the Igloo or something like that? Is that right? Something like that, if I remember rightly, when I was a kid. I used to love ice hockey when I was a kid. It was my favourite American sport. So I have to admit, I don't understand a lot of American sports. I don't understand American football at all. I don't get all the first down, second down, and an attacking team comes off and a defensive team comes on. I don't understand it. That goes over my head. So I watch the Super Bowl every year, and I don't know what's going on. I'm just watching it because it's the Super Bowl. Basketball's easy to understand. It's a very easy sport. But ice hockey, I always loved ice hockey. Ice hockey, I love the fact it had an edge to it. You know, you smash the other player. It was like rugby on ice. You remind me of rugby on ice. That's the bloody third bot today. That's my head in. It was like rugby on ice. I love ice hockey. I'll still watch it now. I play it on PlayStation. I like playing ice hockey. I think it's fantastic. It's probably my favourite American sport. Red Sox, FSG spent a lot of money over the years on wages without success, and they got Sparta recruiting newly top. Is that what the film Moneyball's about? So I've seen the film Moneyball with Brad Pitt, That's about a bloke came in, weren't it? The Boston Red Sox under John Henry when FSG, I think, first bought the Red Sox. John Henry, and he brought someone in, and and their analytics team got rid of all their best players and stuff like that, and no one could believe it. And they got like, so for their best player they got rid of, and they bought 4 very good players to replace him that made the team better. I think that's what the film's about, and I think that's what the story of the Red Sox under FSG is about. I might be wrong there, I'm not sure. But guys, this is that was Billy Bean, Oakland's A's. Okay. So obviously you know more than me about this Jamrock. I'm not too sure. But guys, that's me today. That's been an excellent video, but an excellent stream today, guys. I've really enjoyed the chat. All you commenting, people coming in. So Winner Paul, Sammy, Jamrock, Paulie, John, Christopher, Rich. All you guys coming in. Demo, Imran, Steve, Doug, Chris, QNTV, all you guys coming in today, commenting. It's been an excellent show. I've really, really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. Let's just read a few comments before we go. Polly, I understand it's business, but if Mane and Bobby last longer at Liverpool than Salah does, I don't think Mane and Salah will. Salah. I think Mane or Bobby, one of them goes this summer. I really do. I think one of them go this summer. Apparently, is it David Oidstein from The Athletic? He basically said today he doesn't think Mane and Bobby will both sign deals. They think that Liverpool will offer them new deals, but they don't think one of them won't agree. I think Bobby will agree to a new deal, but I think Mane will want Salah money, and Liverpool aren't going to give it to Mane. So I wouldn't be surprised if Mane leaves this summer. Salah signs a new deal, Bobby gets a new deal, and then with the Mane sale, and with extra money, we buy a new forward. Maybe a Luis Diaz from Porto? Everyone's going raving about. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes Mane's spot next season. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But he's a good player, so it's not like we're losing someone. And these players have to go eventually. We can't keep Mane, Bobby, and Salah forever. They obviously have to go eventually and freshen up and get new blood in. So, but if I was going to keep anyone in the front three, and we could only pick, it would be Mo Salah. And then if I was going to sell either Bobby or Mane this summer, I think it would be Mane, because I think we'll get more value for Mane than with Bobby. And but I think Bobby could still do a job for Liverpool in the way he plays the game over Mane. I don't know if you agree with that, but that's just my point. A lot of teams adopt the same strategy. Yeah, I saw that now. A lot of the American like baseball teams and all that are sort of adopting that strategy now. I mean, it works for certain sports maybe, but I just don't know if it works for football, especially Premier League football. I just don't know if this strategy can keep working to keep a top team at the top and keep them there for a longevity. Works in the short term to get you there, but can it carry you on? That I'm not too sure about. I'm not too sure about that. But this has been an excellent conversation, guys, an excellent video. This has been one of my most enjoyable videos I've done in a while. We had a lot of fun with this. Had a lot of talk about, guys. You've all been excellent. Paulie, Jamrock, Doug, Steve, Sammy, John. You've all been great, and I appreciate all of you coming in. It can, but your recruiting has to be spot on. Yeah, exactly, Jamrock. Recruitment. It's all about them words, my man. But again, thanks to guys for coming in. I really appreciate it. It's been a great show. I'll be back on tomorrow night for the review of the Liverpool-Brentford game. Mane, Salah and Bobby were all money-back purchases. That they were, Jamrock. That they were. So, guys, look out for me tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. You lot don't want me to leave, do you? The badge means more than any player. If a player wants to go, go. Exactly, Polly. At the end of the day, we're Liverpool supporters, not the supporters of the players. That's at the end of the day. The number one thing that only matters is Liverpool Football Club. And, you know, if Mane leaves, Salah, if Mane leaves, he leaves. You know, we get a player in. It doesn't change the fact that it's Liverpool Football Club and that's the team we support and love. So, guys, tomorrow night, 10 p.m., Liverpool versus Brentford review. Be here, interact. The phone lines will be open tomorrow for you guys to come in and have your say on the game. Should be a good one. Look out for that, guys. If you're on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at Jamie LFC39. It's in the description as well on this video. Just go down there and check it out. I've left a link. You can click on that and get straight onto my Twitter. Follow me there. Look out for everything on there, guys. Make sure you hit the bell and notifications so you know when I go live. I'll be live again tomorrow at 10 p.m, guys. Liverpool versus Brentford review. It's been a great show. Thanks for coming in, guys. And I will see you there. Night. Take care, Jamie and chat. Same to you, Polly. Same to all of you. Look, that's the fourth bot. Why am I getting bots? Fucking things. And as Jamrock says, as we leave, smash that like button, guys. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. You've been an absolute diamond. I will see you soon.